You've got a few more weeks to see the collaboration on Broadway, extended now through February 5th. Paul Bettany and Jeremy Pope play two of the giants in modern art history. But for another actor in the play, it's practically a miracle that he's on that stage. Let's send it out to Paul Wontorek.
That's right, Tamsin. Last February, Erik Jensen complained of a headache and suddenly blacked out. We met up in his Brooklyn home to talk about how that terrifying moment led to his Broadway debut. You're having quite a moment right now.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, it's been quite a year, so I'm having quite a moment. Yeah.
So can we just dig right into this?
Yes, all my moments are moments now.
I'm thrilled that you're with us.
Yeah, right on.
Because tell me about this day in February.
Well, as you know, my wife Jessica Blank and I are playwrights as well, and TV writers, and we work together. And our play Coal Country was going up at the Cherry Lane Theater, and they were teching. And I was here just hanging out by myself. My assistant was upstairs, and I all of a sudden said I have a headache, and I had a seizure, and I passed out cold. And it turned out that I had a subarachnoid hemorrhage, which is a lot of people refer to it as a brain aneurysm, a big one. And the kind of aneurysm I had, 50% of the people who get it die outright. And of the 50% who survive, 80% either have some cognitive or physical difficulties, and I had none of those after getting my surgery from my amazing, wonderful doctors who saved my life.
That's a lot to say.
It was a lot to say, yeah. It was a lot to happen, and you know, our show was going up, and then, you know, I was in recovery, and then about 4 weeks had passed, and I was feeling pretty good. And then one of our actors got COVID, and Jessica said, you know, we don't have any understudies. You're the only one who knows the part. Do you want to? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And I got up and I ran the show, and I ran the part for him for 4 performances, and then we finally got an understudy in.
You know, I've heard a lot of amazing understudy swing stories during COVID, but that one's pretty good. Like, just recovering from the brain aneurysm, sure, I'm on.
Nothing but respect for Wonderstudies. That's my mantra, yeah. But then what happened after that is we took a vacation after our show had closed, and we went to London, and I went to see my friend Indira Varma, and she was in a play with Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones. And Emilia's had 2 of these. And she's had 2 aneurysms during Game of Thrones. And she was very quiet about it. And then she published an article about it, a very moving article about coming back from it. And I was so inspired that I called my agents when I got back, and I was like, listen, I really think we need to up our game here, and let's like go for some bigger stuff. And the next thing that came along was the collaboration, which is on Broadway right now, and I'm making my debut.
In the collaboration, Jensen plays Bruno Bieskopfberger, the real-life art dealer who brought Basquiat and Warhol together for their divisive joint art show.
It's interesting that the first show that I'm doing coming back from this is called The Collaboration, because it's my favorite thing to do, first of all. But collaboration requires a kind of love, and I love Paul Bettany, and I love Jeremy Pope, and I love Krista Rodriguez, and I love Kwame Kwei-Armah, and I love Anthony, our writer, and I love being at the theater. And so I want to move anything that I do moving forward from this way out. It's got to have love in it. Or it's not necessary for me to be there. If it doesn't have that, somebody else can take the gig, you know.
This is Brooklyn. You live in Brooklyn. This
is
where you make your art. So you're able to have an office and a home, and that's like a luxury.
It's like a mom and pop thing. We literally live above the store.
That's
and
so cool.
We have our meetings here. We have production meetings here, and we've written most of our plays from here.
So you commute to the city. I mean, I guess it's not that bad of a commute.
I was biking to rehearsal until I got rained on, and then I was like, okay, I've had it with this. It's time for me to be brave enough to hit the subway.
You're doing Broadway in the winter time.
Exactly.
Yeah, get ready.
Exactly.
I want to talk to Jessica. I want to go in there and talk to her.
Let's do it. Let's talk to my wife. She's much more interesting than me, I promise.
Alongside wife Jessica Blank, Jensen has created a series of interview-based docu-plays that started in 2002 with The Exonerated, which told the story of innocent death row inmates. Since then, they've tackled topics like the U.S. invasion of Iraq, a West Virginia coal mine explosion, and COVID-19 frontline workers. When you visit their home in Brooklyn, the walls are filled with outlines of future projects.
I believe that stories change us, they move us, and in the ways that they move us, they can actually change our minds, change our thinking, change who we're able to empathize with. So we're choosy with what we write about. Like, we think not only about what we're interested in, but what telling a story about that thing will do in the world.
Bringing public voice to people who may not collectively necessarily be heard, to make it more than a newspaper story for people is kind of our mission.
You two actually fell in love in the very beginning as artists. Like, you started working together and you went on like a crazy road trip, and that's sort of what led to...
The crazy road trip we had in 2000 led to our collaboration. And
Well,
I
actually,
would say I'm in the relationship though. You're kind of the Warhol and I'm the Basquiat.
Oh, really?
Would you? Don't you think?
I don't know. I think we go back and forth.
You don't think so?
I don't know, Andy. So yeah, I mean, we really did meet as artists, and then we had the idea for our play, The Exonerated, a month after we met. We got engaged on the road doing the interviews for that play. We got married within a year because collaborating, working together really accelerates everything. It's like we kind of looked at each other and it was like, there was no like drama about like, are we gonna get married or how committed are we to each other or like whatever. It was like, oh, we've got work to do.
Yeah.